Hi everybody, it's Kevin, you're on radio, whatever you want to call me. I should start with that instead. I guess I'll give an update on my feet and my injuries. Uh, they're basically starting to scab over, they're starting to heal, and eventually your skin is starting to grow. So I have an appointment tomorrow, and this video will probably be uploaded in the morning during that appointment. I'm still up at the campgrounds, but as you can see, I'm basically inside their old general store where there's a bed, a refrigerator, basically anything you would have in a small apartment. They were kind enough to put me up in here while I heal. So, don't mind me out. I'm going to put my feet up because but anyways, I guess talking to some of my relatives, and they have questions about my religion and what I have been doing, and don't mind me. And I guess I had to clarify that, yeah, we do have cults, but it's not like your movie cults or your Waco, Texas, or things of that nature. You know, where we're throwing virgins in volcanoes and we're got him on the dagger and holding it above our head. We're not doing dumb things like that. We don't worship me. We worship pre-Christian, Scandinavian, German, Saxon, British, Northern Italian, Northern Italy, I should say, pre-Christian gods. I'm trying to put this in context that they're going to understand. It is basically ancestral worship. Not incest, because I've had to correct a few people. I guess I talk funny. Ancestral, as in the previous people that came before you that are now passed on. And that's pretty much what it is. And I got into this over a decade ago because I was in the Tea Party movement and I was extremely frustrated with all that nonsense and all the politics. And I finally just said, I don't care anymore. I'm done. And then I was clearing out my web browsers and links and accounts on all these other sites, and I came across this article about pagans in the military. That's basically what it is, paganism. And that these people were making fun of these people because they wanted to celebrate their heritage. I'm like, that's pretty screwed up for a constitutionalist to say, you know, freedom of religion. And I got into an argument with them, and I'm like, you know what, screw this shit. I'm not even arguing with people online anymore. I hate this so much. It's unreal. That's why I don't watch television anymore either. I have a television with DVDs out the rear end here, and I haven't even touched it. I can't stand it. So instead, I just pretty much read and write and do all things of that manner. But after that, I started getting into it. I started looking into more where we came from, and I did get a picture of our family tree. Eventually, I'd like to get some of you guys on the phone and talk to you about it, or more like maybe come in person and talk to you about it. The last time I came home from Arizona was not a good time. I was treated quite differently, and I ended up on a mountainside for 6 months, splitting firewood just about every day to keep a house that was pretty much falling apart and split in half warm. I don't blame my grandfather for it. I really don't blame my aunt for it. There's one asshole I could blame for it, but I haven't seen these people in over a decade, so I've just been concentrating on my own stuff. And this summer, I decided that it's the summer. I want to go. I want to camp. I want to leave any kind of responsibility that I really don't have behind, which I'm right, I didn't have responsibility. The only responsibilities I have are my medication and my own well-being, which I have taken care of. Other than that, bills like rent, utility, and keeping up with social standards, I was just utterly tired of. So I've been camped off at the back of my motorcycle and my truck for the last 5 months by my own decisions. And I came to this conclusion when April, because last August I was really sick. I had to move back in with somebody. April, I was told mid-month, you're going to have an apartment set up and you're going to have to leave. It's going to have to be probated or whatever it's called. So they take out just for that 2 weeks. I'm like, you know what? This is ridiculous. I'm not putting up with this shit anymore. It's such a high social standard, you people, and you don't follow that standard yourselves, that this is what I'm going to do. So I started out with in the truck, first thing, because I was just tired of this. I was sick of it. And as the days got warmer, I finally went onto the bike, which I did 30,000 miles this year on my motorcycle. Just going across and back and forth in the state, going to work every day, and then on the weekends heading up north. I'm in the truck now because the stator died in the bike, and I got lucky because I was close to the Fox Cities when it happened, so I was able to get a trailer instantly instead of getting a ticket or a tow. But that is the whole story of things. That's why I decided to do, and I've really enjoyed it. I really have. In fact, I plan on doing it again next spring. Everyone's been worried I'm going to get eaten by a bear or some weird shit that barely ever happens. You know, horror stories like that you hear in a wild, wild place like maybe Canada or Alaska or up in the Rockies when food is scarce. I did have one bad encounter this year, and I'm not sure what it is. I think it was a fisher because I found the tracks near the docks. But I had something lay up against my hammock and literally swing my hammock. It was strong enough to swing me around. So maybe it wasn't a fisher, I don't know. But it was something. And I started moaning, growling, and snarling, and it ran. Whatever the hell it was. I guess it figured maybe it was a coyote. But that is the only bad experience I've had. Alright, on to the next order of business. The Kindred is doing awesome. We had an awesome Freight Fraxi. Now, Freight Fraxi is the beginning of the celebration with Frey, whose name means Lord. He is one of the main deities over in Sweden, but he expands across the entire pantheon. Basically, we're celebrating the end of the season, coming of the harvest, or the harvest itself. We had an awesome Freight Fraxi. I appreciate everyone showing up that they did. Basically, the day before this happened, and I managed to fulfill those obligations, and the next day I went to the emergency room because they weren't getting any better. We have a hunter's ritual coming up, which I'm going to try to walk into Perch Lake. It's not very far a walk. It's all dry, and then you guys do what you want from there, but I'm just going to hang out. Or maybe we'll just come up here to this campsite. It depends on what you guys really want to do. This is a nice place. It's a little money, but it's an awesome weekend. But anyways, on to business. The final order of business, I was in the priesthood program, or the Gothar program, with the Osterfolk Assembly. Now, my mentor was awesome. I completed my training. There were no complaints at all until like the last day. Then all of a sudden, it's been 2-3 weeks of these rumors going around that my kindred was talking shit about the main organization. Okay, doesn't make sense. I want to know who said something, and I want to know where these rumors come from. That is why I left the organization. I can't give you an answer. Alright, day later I left. Everyone probably thinks because I didn't make the Gothar's position, which no, I completed the training. I'm happy with it. The fact is that nobody could give me an answer. Nobody could give us an answer. So, I put myself into a self-exile, you could say. I cut myself off from everybody, started removing people, started leaving groups, you know, just basically doing a social blackout, and the effects of that worked. The individual got comfortable that had something to do with this, and I know he had something to do with it because one of his comments were pretty much, if you're not suited for the role, just accept it, or something of that nature. So I know he had something to do with it. He was pretty much caught recording us at our bloats and our moots, and we cornered him about it. Me and another member did, and he didn't have an answer. He pretty much just put his phone away, and then that was the end of the day of fishing we had in April. All I'm gonna say is, you're lucky that we didn't have a midsummer, and you're probably lucky you didn't show up to that midsummer, because everyone wanted answers for that alone. So there was also some personal things with the Ashira Gothi. I'm probably still butchering it, which is fine. And I understand that I barely have ever been seen in a dress shirt and a tie, but I'm out in the wilderness most of the time, or I'm at work, or I'm at our small hawk. And there's a grove there, and everyone's casual. Okay, I really don't care what my people wear. If they're comfortable wearing what they want to wear, that's fine. I'll admit, the last float, I could have probably been dressed a little nicer, but I was on a time frame when I left out of here. It was a 400-mile day that day. Alright, now the home situation, I understand that too, but I chose to go do this, so whatever. But the whole rumor thing, if you who was involved, I would appreciate an honest answer. Instead, more than likely, from the perception I have now, with the pieces I have puzzled together, it just makes so much sense. My people know, I know, we're not going to release anything publicly just yet. In fact, we're probably going to hold off until the spring, because we're doing successfully well, and we're going to continue to do well. We're pretty much just going to drop the issue for now unless it comes up again. And knowing people as I know them, they don't leave things alone. So, but anyways, I think that's going to be it for this video. I might do a few of these. I don't really like doing videos on the inside here. It's just, everyone else does videos on the inside. It's like, it's really not the point. Another reason I really haven't put out a room study video either, because I've just been working on my book, and I've been reading, and I've been studying, and I've been making sure my members are taken care of. But anyways, guys, my name's Kevin, or as I go by a handle of Bjorn Rado, which means Bear Travels. I am the Gothi of the Wolves of Blood and Iron in Wisconsin, eastern side of Wisconsin, more specifically. There are other kindreds, but I won't name them. They're very, I guess, hidden, you could say, and that's how they like to be. So, but that's pretty much everything that has been going on since spring. Kind of in a nutshell. So I'll get this video uploaded tomorrow, and I appreciate you guys viewing. Please subscribe and like, help us grow the channel. Look at our page on Facebook, the Wolves of Blood and Iron. I have a t-shirt idea up there. If you guys want some, you're just going to have to put in some orders, and I'm going to have to get a figure and a number. Support us, support you. But anyways, like I said, the end of the video, and I appreciate it. And I've heard the secret to a good YouTube channel is just keeping doing videos, even if they're horrible. Which I've been told my videos are boring anyway. So I love constructive criticism. Anyways, guys, I will catch you later. I gotta put these stupid post-op shoes back off, shut off the video, edit the video, and get it ready to go for tomorrow. I have no reception in here, so nor will I until I get about 10 miles out that way. Alright guys, I will catch you later.